will say, as the years have gone on, so this is our 6th year this year with Estrogen Fest. I am receiving help a little bit more, but as a whole, the principle is the same, right? I literally just know, let me just take care of you because that's important. So I want to share a little bit about how this came about, because I think it's important for women to understand how this was birthed, if you will. Yeah. And so I had opened my salon up 7 years ago, March 1st. And we started Estrogen Fest April that next year. So at Estrogen Fest, so the salon is 7 years old, Estrogen Fest is 6 years old. And it all came about because I started noticing that I would have these lady clients come in and just burst into tears. Like they would just come in, sit in my chair and just cry. And I'm like, what the actual fuck is going on here? And I started realizing that these women just did not take care of themselves. And there's got to be something else. And so I always call it my little voice in the back of my head that will just kind of knock, knock, knock. And then it pounds. And then it's like kicking a door down and I've got to listen to it. And boy, baby, have we come a long way since that first Estrogen Fest. You know, we would eat like terrible, delicious grilled cheese sandwiches and, you know, horrible cheese dips and awful foods. And now we are eating completely differently and for our highest and better good. So that it all started coming about from that way. And I always say, and still do, that the information comes and it's divinely given, meaning I sit and I write down information in bits or get feeling on what it is it's going to look like and feel like. And then that's the theme for the year. And that has been the case since the beginning. So it's the same program for an entire year that you can enroll in. And then in 2019, last year, Tammy and Aaliyah came to an Estrogen Fest. And it was like we were co-facilitating at that point. And then I think it was not even a month or two later, we were having a conversation and I think we were texting or messaging or something. And it just kind of both of us kind of said the same thing at the same time. And it's like, yeah, this is going to be great together. And so she is now my partner, and that's where our 2.0 comes in. Yeah. This is our new logo. It's spectacular. I love it. So we've got her unbranded coloring in with Estrogen Fest, and it's just beautiful. And so now the first time ever that I have partnered with somebody with this, and I could never imagine have partnered with anybody else. Like this has been the most beautiful, graceful, spectacular thing for not only us, but for our ladies that attend. And, you know, we had our first one in 2020 in February. And I think one of my favorite parts of that, Tammy, is our morning when we would pray together and just set our intention for what we wanted and asking our guides and angels to support us and each other throughout the day. And that to me really spoke to our hearts and what we wanted to give to these women. Because we have put our hearts completely in this for them.
You're going to be crying again.
That's all right, girl. It's all right.
It's so funny. Like, I cannot have an interview without some tears coming out.
That's okay.
Our teacher class. It's so funny.
It's okay. But you know, that's why. I mean.
It's good, though. It's good. I think.
Yes. Go ahead.
The background to that is I never, ever shed a tear in front of anybody until I was about 32 years old, or 33. Like, I never did. So when I had a breakthrough with that, now it's like I just let it go. I'm not going to hold it back. I've learned that tears are a part of emotion. God gave them to us, and you're supposed to shed. And when I'm crying, it's really tears of joy. It's like happiness and love that I'm feeling. Yeah. Or I can feel like when a breakthrough is getting ready to come, like happen to someone around me, I'll start crying before they even start crying. Yes. They're like, why are you crying? I'm like, because this is going to be huge for you. I can feel it. Yes. And then all of a sudden it happens and they're like, how did you know that? I'm like, I don't know. I feel it. Look, Amy's commenting. We cried the whole weekend.
Yes.
But the thing about the tears is they're so healing.
Yes.
And that's like some people are like, oh, I don't want to come, so I don't want to cry. It's like, girl, you can either hold on to that shit and just keep carrying it with you, or just let it go in one weekend and be done and move forward.
It's so funny because what? You cry for 5 seconds and then it's over.
And it's done. I know.
It's like we hold on to all this shit thinking, oh, this is going to be huge. It's going to be awful. No, it's a personal freedom that you will never understand until you step through it. Right.
Yeah,
and
right.
I mean, Amy Willoughby, she's on here tonight. Go to our Facebook page and our personal pages. We did a little interview with her and her experience. This woman, talk about transfer fucking mation. I mean, this woman stepped in one way and she left a completely different human. Completely different human.
Literally looked different. And
I mean, it was beautiful. Absolutely fucking stunning.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been so proud of one of our attendees in my life. She was spectacular.
Yeah, but what's amazing about it is that when you look at the women that have been to Estrogen Fest, and then you look at the actions they take in their life, that's what was transformative for me. Like that I could go in one weekend and come back and literally transform my marriage, my relationship with my daughter, my mentoring with my stylist at TG, moving and having another home, and like just everything I have created in the last 3 years, like mind blowing. And I'm not saying that in a bragging way at all. What I'm saying
did the work.
Is
you did the work.
I did that. Yeah, I did some deep-seated work, and I continue to do it. It's not like a one and done. Like I continue to do it because I live more powerfully. Now, if I were to stop growing and my relationships were deteriorating and I was a horrible place, then I'd say, no, this isn't for you. But when it literally starts making you move forward and creating the things that you really want in your life, that I want to sign up for. And you had like told me for 5 years to go, or 3 years. I think it was 3 years. You kept saying, just go, just go. And I'm like, girl, I don't even know what it is. Like I really didn't even listen to you because I was moving around so much I couldn't hear what you were saying. But finally I was like, girl, I'm just going. I don't even know what it is. I'm coming.
Yes.
I literally didn't know what it was. I was just like, I'm going to this thing Deanne is doing.
Right.
I didn't listen to you what it was.
Well,
I got some homework.
You got some homework. Yep.
I got some homework and I was like, why am I one more to-do list, writing down my homework. And then when I got there, I was like, whoa, this is some deep shit right here.
Yeah.
And then just all of a sudden the women around me were like transforming. I was like, wow, I'm going to do this work. Like I'm in it. So yeah, it's been good. So I think what we need to do is explain what it looks like. Because a few questions on here, like someone's wanting to know if you're thinking about going to the virtual one.
Yes.
What's that look like?
So the virtual one, we decided, obviously, everyone in the entire world's in fucking lockdown. So we had an actual retreat scheduled for April 23rd through 26th. Yeah. And so, what's that?
We were supposed to go to Oklahoma in the cabin in Oklahoma, and we had to cancel it because of the pandemic.
Yes. So
the women needed it. The women that were signed up for it needed it.
Yes.
And we knew a lot of women in our lives still needed it. So we were like, girl, we got to create something that women can hold on to, even if it's just.
Yes. So the virtual Estrogen Fest, and I have a feeling that we're going to end up doing this a lot more, which is going to be great. Virtual Estrogen Fest basically is this. It's a short, condensed 8 hours of work spread between 2 days that you get homework. And this particular one that we have on the 25th and 26th is directly correlated to what is going on right now in today's society with the pandemic. So we're looking at sabotages, right? Tammy, what were some of the sabotages that we were talking about the other day?
Well, self-sabotage right now is not like a lot of people are frozen. They don't even know what to do because they're used to being on the schedule, and the schedule's not there, or they're trying to schedule and there's so much going on they don't know what to do. It's like they're almost overwhelmed. So it's just that self-sabotage of schedule, overeating,
drinking too much. Do you know how many people I have seen that are just totally overindulging in alcohol right now. Like,
Yeah.
not that that's a judgment, but you know, when this is over and you can't day drink all day long, I mean, that could be a severe issue for some people, right? So there's that. Not moving.
The fear is really, I would say the first 2 weeks of this, the fear was
Huge.
For a lot of people.
Huge.
I think people are processing a little bit more now, but there's still fear of the unknown of what's coming up. So it's a lot of self-sabotage. You know, and I think like you and I were talking, what's our self-sabotage? Girl, my daughter keeps baking and I am eating all of these baked goods. And I don't normally eat these baked goods, but I'm like, girl, just stop making the cupcakes and cookies, chocolate covered strawberries.
I saw those strawberries, girl.
They're good too. It is just nonstop baking, but that is something she enjoys doing and it's keeping her busy. So I'm letting her do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like a couple of cupcakes are going to hurt me or whatever, but I'm just saying like, that is my weekly. I have a sweet tooth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it does not make me feel good after I eat it. And I know it's not going to make me feel good.
Right. Right.
But I still eat it anyway. So that's like, that would be something. What's your vice right now? You know, and is it healthy for you? Is it serving you good? So we're definitely looking at self-sabotage, but it's not just like right now. There is something deep-seated that causes you to do that. So we really look at what is the cause of that.
We're getting deep, ladies. We're going to get deep with it, right? We're also going to talk about our health and wellness overall. What are you eating? How are you feeding your body energetically, emotionally, physically, auditorily, visually? How are you stimulating yourself? How are you actually feeding yourself? We're going to look at all those things too.
Well, because that's something we look at in the regular estrogen fest, but right now, like there's a lot of triggers happening for people that be triggered. So everything's amplified. Mm-hmm. And you got to get to the root of it because otherwise it's just a Band-Aid on it and it just doesn't get healed, you know?
No.
It's like this scab is underneath it and it's never going to heal. So, you know, these are just quick tools that you can use, not just now. That's what I really like about Estrogen Fest is these are tools that you can use in your everyday life. And again, we can give you the tools. We actually do them in our life. We know they work, but it's that consistency. So consistency is a really hard thing for people. So we're talking about that, the consistency. And then, you know, what does your life look like after this pandemic? So we're going to help you create some new intentions for your life and how you live towards that. And again, that's something that Deanna and I do. And we're creating constantly. We're definitely living. And I hate to say this all the time, but we're definitely living with intention.
We do.
It's true. It's like that's where our attention goes. What are we creating? And then you'll see it just magically starts happening. So we're going to teach you how to do that and how you create those new habits. You'll have new habits when you walk away and you shed the old ones.
But